For the past decade, Disney has so successfully marketed the MCU movies that they can do no wrong. To the point where they are unwatchable unless you walk into the movie theater with a certain mindset. And that mindset is, it's a comic book movie, just shut your brain off. And in this video, I'm going to prove you right. I'm going to establish that yes, there were so many problems and issues in the MCU movies in the last few years that the only way you can get through it, much less enjoy it, is if you shut your brain off to the point where you don't even know that it's stupid, that you're able to ignore all the stupid. Now luckily, Black Panther has nowhere near the level of stupid and problems that Endgame, Infinity War, and Captain Marvel did. If you want, you can go see those, but I doubt you will anyway. However, it's almost like, in my view, Black Panther, much like some of the other previous movies in Phase 3, were like a testing ground to see what they can get away with and how much the audience will accept. Now, I'm not going to cover every little thing. I'm going to try and cover just the big stuff because I don't want to make this a 5-part series. Also, warning ahead of time, there might be a little bit of rambling, so please bear with me if that happens. One of the first things I want to cover is, to make the story in Black Panther work, you have to ignore previous movies in the MCU. Which is weird because it's supposed to be a shared universe, except there are things that happen in previous movies that you have to ignore, otherwise you can't have the story in Black Panther. One of the examples is the whole isolation thing, where Wakanda doesn't want to share with the outside world, wants to be isolated, nobody's allowed in, nothing. The problem is that in Civil War, when King T'Chaka and T'Challa are at the UN, King T'Chaka addresses the UN and goes, how they were forced to question their legacy, that they were already part of a goodwill mission in Nigeria, because they already had an outreach program, how they were too long in the shadows and will fight to improve the world they wish to join. The whole sharing of the technology was already decided by King T'Chaka. It's done. According to Civil War, King T'Chaka already established they already have an outreach program. They're already going to share everything. Nope, didn't happen. La la la. Ignore that, because if you don't ignore it, then there's no plot to this movie. You need to ignore an actual aspect of the MCU shared universe to make this movie work. The other issue was Claw. Because when I saw Claw in this movie, I'm going, what the hell is Claw doing in this movie? Because since none of you remember this, in Age of Ultron, Claw sold the vibranium he stole from Wakanda to Ultron. And Claw says it's worth billions. So what did Ultron do? Transferred a few $1 billion to Claw's account. Now there's no other movie or any other information that they somehow froze Claw's account or that it never existed. So according to Age of Ultron, Claw's a multi-billionaire. Why would he be in this movie and care about a small little chunk of vibranium? He wouldn't. But the movie needs him to be in this movie, otherwise the plot doesn't work, the story doesn't work. And even if he is in this movie, it still doesn't make any sense, because vibranium, once it's been molded and created with something, that's it. It's done. You can't do anything with it. Who's going to buy it? It's just a chunk of metal at this point. Because in Age of Ultron, when you see Klaue sell it to Ultron, it comes in these little containers and it's in the raw form. That's the only way you can use vibranium. Once it's been used or applied, that's it. It's just a hunk of metal. But the writers don't know this because they don't know how vibranium works. They don't even know what they're doing. And you as an audience, you don't care because at this point you've shut your brain off, so you're just along for the ride. Then we have to deal with the issue of vibranium. And the problem with the movie is it conflates vibranium with the technology, in that they're both the same. That as long as you have vibranium, you have the technology. And to even further make vibranium a magical metal, Klaue says that they use vibranium to power their tech. So according to the movie, vibranium is used not only to invent technology, but it also powers the vibranium technology? I mean, I'm sorry. That needs to be explained. I know you don't care because, again, you're brain dead idiots at this point. You've already established that when you sat down. But these are issues that are why these movies are unwatchable to anybody that actually has their mental facilities while watching the movie. And the other problem with vibranium is it's a plot device. It's whatever they need vibranium to do, it does. They need hovercrafts, vibranium. They need the bulletproof suit to suddenly be able to absorb kinetic energy, vibranium. Another plot device is Shuri. Shuri's not even a character in this movie. She's a plot device. Anything you need for the vibranium to be, you go to Shuri. You need to upgrade the suit. Go to Shuri. Upgrade the beads. Shuri. Make remote control units. Shuri. Need a bed that can, heal Ross's bullet wound that affected his spine. Shuri. When Ross is on the plane and is captured with the hooks by the two other planes, Shuri solves it. When, at the end of the movie, when Black Panther is revived, and the movie goes, hey, we need him to have his suit. Oh, what a coincidence. Shuri has the suit. Whatever they need to do to have the movie advance or go forward, you got Shuri. That's all. That's what she's there for. Because, no offense to the actress, but there's a line in. Oh, hold on. There's a line in Rocketeer. I have the movie poster. I forgot the name. There's a line in the movie where the director goes to this really bad actress and goes, acting is like acting that you're not, but you're not acting, or something like that. That's basically the actress playing Shuri in this movie. She's not very good. Sorry. Then we have the museum scene with the vibranium item. How did Killmonger even know it was a Wakandan item? Much less that it was vibranium. at the same time, how did the museum not know it was vibranium? What did they do? Just find it and just put it on the shelf and go, yeah, that's what it is? Again, that's not how it works, but that's what the movie needed it to do, because otherwise, you have no story, you have no plot. Then we get this, the car chase scene in Korea broke me, it really did, because this had to be a test scene to see how much stupid they could get away with, and you guys passed it with flying colors, because, okay, this is going to be a little bit rambly, so please bear with me. Shuri has the hologram car to control the remote-controlled car. I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is, how does she see where she's going? There's nothing to establish that she can see where she's going. But here's the trick that Disney used to confuse your simple little minds. Every time you saw Shuri in the car, you had the visuals of the streets of Korea around her. But it couldn't have been, because she was in her lab. So you should have seen the lab area, but you didn't, because they needed you to believe and confuse you enough to make you think, no, she's actually in the car driving, this is all the scene. Now, people have been using the defense that, no, wait a minute, at the end of the movie, when Ross is in the airplane, there's that hologram dome around him. Yes, granted, not a problem. The thing is, you didn't know about that during the car chase scene. And you accepted the stupid of the car chase scene as is. You didn't look at the car chase scene and go, this doesn't make any sense. Then, at the end of the movie, when Ross is on the hologram plane, go, oh, that's how it was supposed to work. No, sorry, nice try. You had already accepted it, hook, line, and sinker, from in real time, so to speak. And the remote control car system isn't even consistent, because she goes, I see a shortcut. How? I don't know. He's on third and you don't give a damn. Sorry. There's no way she could have seen anything. But apparently she does. But then there's a scene where Black Panther is in the vehicle ahead of her, and he throws the body onto the road, and she runs over it. And she goes, what was that? Well, I thought she could see where she was going, but apparently she can't now? Oh, and here's the beautiful part. So she runs over the body, and her hologram car bounces. See, that's what they use to help convince you, simple-minded idiots, that the car works the same way as the hologram. Why would the hologram have jumped? It wouldn't have. But they did that to help confuse you. Because if that's the case, when she made that sharp turn, and Black Panther grabbed onto the car and then onto the cement, and the car was on an angle in the turn, did her seat and hologram tilt as well? No, because apparently they conveniently didn't add that scene, because that would have totally destroyed the illusion that they were trying to create. Another way of establishing the illusion is that when Black Panther is on top of the roof, she looks up as if she's actually talking to him, as if he's really up there. Then we have Okoye and Nakia chasing some of the vehicles. And Nakia gets up on top of the roof of the car, throws her spear, goes through the vehicle, lands on the ground, stops the car. Not a problem. Except later on, when she catches up to Claw, she has a spear. But it's not like they stopped because they just kept driving by. So where did she get her? Where did she get the second spear? Who cares? You didn't even notice. So then, this was the part that killed me. Claw fires his energy weapon and hits the car that Okoye and Nakia are in. Now Okoye flips around and survives fine. But then we see Nakia just sliding down the road, still in her car seat, still holding the steering wheel. And you guys cheered and laughed at how funny that was. That was the stupidest scene in the movie. It was literally an impossible scene, and you guys didn't care. For a second I'm going, am I watching like an Austin Powers parody movie? Because that's the only way that scene would have worked. But no. He destroys the car completely, but no, Nakia survives. Why? Because they needed her to survive. They wanted to show that really cool explosion, and they kind of hid it behind this really humorous little scene. At this point, I literally lost any seriousness this movie was trying to commit. And how you guys saw that scene and didn't get confused, shocked, questioned, taken aback, anything other than blind acceptance is beyond me. Then we have King T'Chaka killing his brother. Why? He didn't have to kill his brother. Because in the flashback, you see him turn around, knock the gun out of his hand. His brother's helpless. It's done. It's over. But he ends up, out of what? Instinct, just killing? Again, this is his brother. Not some assassin trying to kill him. It's his brother who he loves. But his instinctive reaction is to kill him? Well, of course they had to have him kill him. The story won't progress, and the plot won't work unless he kills his father. Unless he kills his brother. Why do they keep the body there? To cover up the lie? Bullshit! It's because if they took the body, Killmonger, as a kid, would never have grown up to become Killmonger, and the whole revenge story wouldn't have happened. So, King T'Chaka killing his brother was stupid. Leaving the body behind was stupid. But they needed that stupid, otherwise the story wouldn't work. Then we have Killmonger being able to challenge T'Challa whenever he wants. In the beginning of the movie, there's this big deal about the ceremony and what's required. Nope, screw it. We've already done that scene. We're just gonna have Killmonger decide. Yeah, I'm just gonna challenge him. Screw the lore we just established earlier in the movie. It's in the way of, pacing. Then, Killmonger defeats T'Challa. Fine. Why did that suddenly make him Black Panther? Because previously, King T'Chaka was the king, But Black Panther, or T'Challa, was the Black Panther. Being king and Black Panther are not synonymous. They're not one and the same. But no, the movie wants them to be the same, so screw it. Who cares what the lore is that they've already established? Whoever's king gets to be Black Panther, even though it changes the rules. Then we have the mother, Nakia, and Shuri going to M'Baku to give him the heart-shaped herb because they want him to help, defeat Killmonger. And M'Baku has the body of T'Challa. Why? Why would he have the body of T'Challa? In case somebody comes along who might want to claim the body even though everybody thinks he's dead and by chance happens to have the magic herb that will revive him? How lazy writing can you have, and how stupid can you be to not see that scene and go, well, gee, that's not an obvious setup. I don't care that the snow kept him alive. That's nothing compared to the fact that M'Baku was keeping his body for what? To have like the Captain Marvel scene in Infinity War where hoping somebody just shows up? So now T'Challa's revived. But hey, how are we going to get him to have the Black Panther suit? Shuri. Well, if Shuri got the one necklace, why didn't she get the other necklace? Well, because the movie didn't want her to. The movie needed Killmonger to have the other suit, so she didn't steal it. Well, when Shuri took the necklace, why didn't she take any other tech? Well, because the movie didn't want her to. Why didn't she destroy any of her designs or anything so that Killmonger couldn't use any of them? Well, because the movie didn't want him to. Because otherwise, it would have changed and screwed up the whole storyline. Then at the end, M'Baku decides to help. Why? He's already established he has no interest. But the movie needed like a hero scene, like they needed like a rescue scene. So screw what he just said 20 minutes ago. That doesn't matter anymore. We need him to do this to keep the story going. Screw logic, screw continuity, screw character, whatever. I want to touch upon, lastly I want to touch upon the whole message that this movie was trying to establish. And it's the whole empowerment political message thing. It's laughable to me that you actually think Disney gave a damn or actually cared. Okay? You want to know what Disney did? Disney found a way to monetize the empowerment message and the political message to the tune of over $1 billion. And you idiots fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. That's all that message was. You can praise it all you want. Disney didn't care. Disney found a way to actually monetize your political message. Anyway, I'm done. I don't want to be quite honest, there's no point in giving any more examples because the idiots I'm talking to have already left this video a long time ago. And those of you who already agree with what I'm saying, you already know the other problem, so there's no sense in rehashing it. I do want to finish off by saying if this review of Black Panther or any of the other reviews of the MCU movies I've done, if you know anyone that it'll piss off or offend, please share it with them, because sometimes it's kind of hard being a shit disturber all by myself, and I sometimes need the help of others. So, anyway, I'm out of here. See you.